Hello, good evening, and welcome to the Fatback 4 for this Sunday evening, brought to you by manscaped.com. I'm Gav, that's Keith, that's Seany, who's been in the sun as much as me, and that's Grizz, who, I don't know, I think he's going to get his hair done and he's just not telling anybody because he keeps wearing those hats. But this is the Fatback 4. If you're there, I'm going to do this before Grizz gives out to me. If you're in the chat, please hit the like button on your way in, on your way out, wherever it might be. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, like and share, all that stuff. Grizz will have a go at you in about 40 to 45 minutes. So mark that in your calendar. Liverpool 1, Newcastle 1 is the main focus of our attention tonight. After that draw at Anfield, another blow in our race to the top four, which is stuttering. After Leeds during the week, yeah, it's a race. We're still in the race. We're in the race, but the chain's falling off. And, there's all sorts happening. But look, after the draw against Leeds during the week and that draw against Newcastle, we've really put ourselves up against it now with 4-5 games to go. Grizz, I'm going to come to you first. First of all, you're very welcome. We'll start with the lineup we always do, and you know, Seany always says to me, or says to us, you know, I want to see a team, and he goes, oh, what's he doing with that? And there was a bit of that about it when the four of them are on the pitch. What way will he go with it? Because, as we all know, he plays Ronaldo and Thiago, and then he goes Jota, Mane, Salah, and Firmino. Were you happy with that? Because I think you said on Friday night show that you thought that's the way you might go.
I think this was, we've already discussed many times. I think this was the way to go against crap teams, and Newcastle are a crap team. This was the plan, I think, all season. Obviously, circumstances didn't allow it many times, but we've played it a couple of times, and we were going to play a lot of this, I think, the four of them. And especially in the situation we're in where, you know, that draw was like a loss. It was a cup, you know, we said it's 7 cup finals. We need to just go and win every single game, simple as, and then see where we are. I thought the team lineup was perfect. I know we're going to probably go on to Klopp's decisions overall and the substitutions, but I thought it was a game of two halves, even for Klopp. I thought the first half, in terms of selection, bang on. He picked a team that created 20 chances in that first half, guys. I'm not even exaggerating.
First half, 12 shots.
Yeah, all right, 12 shots, for fuck's sake.
But Newcastle had 1.
That doesn't suit my narrative, does it, though? But yeah, the point...
Three big chances in the half.
So, look, from a selection point of view, especially with Nat Phillips being out, he was never going to play Reece Williams again, ever, in a Liverpool shirt, in my opinion. So he had to go with Fabinho at the back. And the rest of them picked itself. Curtis Jones just come back from injury, wasn't going to throw him in there. Who else is there missing? No one. The front four had to go out, and you know, I said in the Friday forecast show that we're gonna go out and blitz them. We did everything bar kicking it in the back of the net or over that line these days. You don't even have to kick it into the net these days. You just got to get it over the line so that buzzer goes off in the referee's ear. Apart from that, Klopp done everything he could in that first half in terms of team selection, in my opinion.
Seany, like a lot of people in the chat there are saying nothing wrong with the lineup, and I presume you felt the same because it was something slightly different. You know, there was talk of Jota was injured and, you know, he wasn't in the training picks and stuff like that, but he was there and he started with the other lads. But were you okay with it? Because I think I haven't found anyone yet, Seany, that said no, it's not a lineup I would have went with.
Yeah, sure. Look, Klopp put out 11 players to dominate and beat a Newcastle side. They went out and dominated the game. Couldn't beat the Newcastle side. Not a lot more Klopp could do, to be honest with you. You go on about 11s all day, but you can only do so much work on the training ground, and you select these players and put trust in them, and you let them down yesterday. Simple as that. Anyone who was giving out about lineups or players being out of positions, it's pointless because it wasn't an issue. It wasn't a bad performance. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't, not from probably till you get to the front three. Everyone did that job really, didn't they? So I'm not sure what else Klopp Klopp could have done, to be honest with you. And when you're looking at Klopp in the last 10 minutes of that game, it would go to show that maybe he's as frustrated as any of us, because there's only so much a manager can do. One thing he definitely can't do is put the fucking ball in the net.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Klopp is trying his best to hide his frustration at certain things within the team or players or whatever it might be, and I think he's a little bit. He just has to go with what he has, because that's it. He's very few options, in my opinion, and I agree with you. He did look a very frustrated man from probably 80 minutes on. But having said that, we get onto the subs later, because he is the man that makes the subs. But Keith, I think we're all agreed that the lineup is all right, and we get a great start. We get a great start, because I'm watching it, and we're 4 minutes in, and Salah scores. And first of all, brilliant start, Keith, and a brilliant goal.
It's a great goal, and it's something that I think we've seen over this season. Salah, when he doesn't have too much time to think, is lethal. And this was one of them. It's an excellent, spinning finish. You don't see many on the swivel anymore, and you see it. And someone pointed out in the group that it just reminded him of Ian Rush. And it was very, turning on a sixpence like that and blasting one in. Great finish by Salah. And it's a perfect start, because by scoring in the third or fourth minute, or whenever it was, we have had our issues, especially at Anfield. We get a goal, it's like, right, let's go, let's do it. We go on from here. As Seany said, Newcastle aren't a great team, or Grizz, one of them. Grizz said it, sorry. Newcastle aren't a great team. We've got a lineup that we want to see out, so let's go on and do it. But the same shit is happening week in, week out now. It's a confidence thing. Confidence is gone. I tweeted out something yesterday that it just reminds me of Liverpool pre-Van Dijk. There's just no confidence in them, and that's down to the strikers, the front three, front four, not taking the chances. And it wasn't Bobby yesterday, it wasn't Mane, it was all of them. It was all four of them. They were blaming brutal, if you ask me. Great start, but if I thought that's how I didn't think that was how the match was going to pan out after seeing the start.
Dinesh Karoy, he's added to his name this week. FSG, get out of Liverpool FC, says, evening, good lineup. I feel sorry for Ben Davies as not given a chance to play for Liverpool on the 31st of January. He must have felt happy signing. Look, Ben Davies hasn't been seen on the bench, I think, twice since he signed for Liverpool. So I don't know what the issue is there, Dinesh. I really don't. He's signed, he's training. You see him out training all the time. Is he up to the standard? I'm not too sure, but we've gone over this with regards to his signing and to a lesser extent Kabak signing on it was the 1st of February, I think they were confirmed. But it's just a strange one. But listen, thanks for the super chat. But the Ben Davies thing, I don't think you'll see him play for Liverpool. I think he'll get to the end of the season and I think you'll see him leave Liverpool. And for whatever reason, it might be unfortunate, but I think that's just the way it's going to go. Going on the evidence that we've seen so far, or lack of evidence on the pitch.
Last day of the season, they'll probably get a run out after 75 minutes if the game it's a dead rubber or something. That'll tell you everything. Do you know what I mean? It's giving him his run out for Liverpool before he heads off into the sunset. Just can't see him making it.
Sam Carter has come out with a big show here. He says, we are not getting top four. If we do, I'll get a tattoo of Gav on my right knee and Grizz on the left. Sam, you shouldn't say stuff like that, brother, because people in here don't forget.
Someone clip that.
Yeah, no, that'll be absolutely screenshotted now. And if we get top four, you could be in trouble. John Anderson says, I enjoy listening while I do things around the house. Thanks, lads. Thanks, John. And what are you doing around the house? Let us know. So, Grizz, I'll come to you. Like, as Keith said, it's a really good goal. And it's, like he said, we struggle. We have struggled at Anfield to score more than anything else, but get in front and not chasing the game, or we're at 70 and it's a bit in the balance and someone nicks a goal and we get beaten. But we get that early goal, Grizz. And honestly, I thought when we got that, I thought Newcastle won't change what they're doing, because most teams don't, but it'll give us the confidence to go on. And like Seany has mentioned and Keith has mentioned, the front three, just, I don't know what was going on after the 4th minute, because it was just, there was chances. Like Keith says, 12 shots, 3 big chances, but Grizz, we should have been out of sight by the end of that half.
It was a throwback to the old Newcastle Liverpool games at Anfield when Kevin Keegan was the manager. Honestly, it was too. I mean, let's not forget they had
balls in the net.
Say again.
Set players are putting balls in the net.
Yeah. And Newcastle had one shot on goal in the first half.
No, but they had breakaways though.
Yeah,
I mean, they had breakaways where they were just look. If they had anyone apart from Joe Linton and Almiron, right? Because honestly, yeah, if they had Yilmaz, right? We'll come on to that later. I'm not going to let you forget that. We're going to go into that at the end. But look, it was Saint Maxim. It was Saint Maximo on their side, who literally was a threat, and he had the whole back four occupied. But our four terrorized the five at the back. I mean, absolutely terrorized. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, lads. It was chance after chance, and you could see the shoulders dropping after every chance missed. Yeah. And that's the significant thing in a Jurgen Klopp side. That shit doesn't happen with us normally. You know, this mentality monsters. Well, now we're mentality mouses, as someone claimed. But as someone once said, but I couldn't believe it, lads. We were creating chances near enough every attack. Mane actually started off okay this game. I thought first 5-10 minutes, do you know what, guys? He was doing the simple things. You could see I could tell that maybe Jurgen Klopp's had a word with him and said, look, go back to basics, and then the real Sadio Mane will come out. Stop overcomplicating it. It lasted about 15 minutes, lads. That first 15 minutes, Sadio played it off, laid it off, doing the simple things. And I thought, okay, Sadio is going to grow into this. I don't know what's happened with Sadio, guys. And it was only not Sadio. That was the Watford Jota. Not Watford, Wolves. That was the Wolves Jota. Yeah, that was the Wolves Jota. I mean, that was the best impression he's done of the Milan Baros, the old Milan Baros I've ever seen. We just created chance at will, and we missed them at will. And we all, the thing is, what hurts or what frustrates or what angers is we all saw it coming, lads. We all saw it coming. And that's what hurts us, because when you think, oh, is this going to be one of those days when you all think it and you keep repeating in your head, sometimes you do it for the sake of it and you think, nah, but we see it out. We're Liverpool Football Club. We're going for top four. We see it out. This ain't going to happen to us, even though we keep repeating it in our head. And that's exactly what happened in that second half. That first half should have been 5-1 easily. I mean, that's not even an exaggeration. Should have been easily 5-1, but we go. Well, they had a chance, didn't they? They had a few chances, Keith. You're thinking a bit harsh.
They kept getting pinged for offside, didn't they?
I think they had a couple of breakaways, and I think maybe their ball before the final ball was off. You know, where they looked like they were breaking.
They had a fella who goes through on his left hand side, and Alisson makes a neat, tidy save. The midfielder, I think it was.
Yeah,
Longstaff.
Yeah, but I think the flag went up on that, did it? And they just let it play on. It's hard to tell with the games now because they're letting attacks run and then the flag going up afterwards. So they would have been called back. It's weird. But no, I take your point, Grizz. They were sort of trying to, they had a plan to try and ping us on the break. And with the likes of San Maxima there, you know.
I tell you what, Keith, do you know what it is? I don't even think they had a plan. I think the way, honestly, I think the way the game planned out and the way they saw it.
Playing the game.
They played it where they saw the two in midfield and four attack. They just thought, we can get runners through midfield here. But we went out with the intent of, you're Newcastle, you got Joe Linton up front. We're Liverpool. We've got Mane, Salah, Jota up front. If you score 1 or 2, we'll score 5, 6. And that was the game plan, in my opinion. And it should have been the execution should have, been better, and we should have won that. Well, we should have won that half 5-1.
Seany, there is chances, and I think at halftime, we're 1-0 up, and you're kind of going, how is that only 1-0? But what's the concern there for you? Because I did think that when Newcastle managed to get out, I think they did look a little bit dangerous, Seany, and
they had the ball in the net in the first half.
Yeah, and we were suffering, I think, because we were literally just sitting those two in midfield and letting the other four go, and then, of course, you do have your fullbacks that are going to push on. So we were taking that risk, I think. And And I don't even think the pressing was there for us for a lot of it. Were you concerned when you got to half-time that we're 1-0, it should be more, and there is glimpses of them potentially hurting us if they get it right?
Yeah, we were never keeping a clean sheet yesterday. And I know people were saying that Kabak and the like played well. I agree, he did. I think he carried the back four. I think the rest of them were poor. I think Robbo had his best game in a while, but we're always conceding because narratives in games are killing us now because we're not mentally strong enough to see out these games. Like
100%.
Grizz said, and I agree with what Grizz said, Newcastle wouldn't have had a game plan, but Steve Bruce would have said, you know what, get into this game last 20 and you're still in the game, you have a chance here. Because they still play that stupid high line and you will get one chance at least. And we continue to do it. And I don't know why we continue to do it. So we're talking about lineups and whatever. Personnel is not the issue. Setup is an issue. Because again, that high line, and I wouldn't mind. You'll get onto it, Gav. I'm sure you will. But before Wilson goes through, it happens twice, literally in 5 minutes. And there's nobody on the pitch or on the sideline with the wherewithal to turn around and say, do you know what, hold on here. Maybe we need to switch something up here because we are getting hit like that. And it's the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th time this season this happened.
But Seany,
it's just
so
stupid. It's
but
just
Seany,
ridiculous. This is supposed to be a team of winners. I can understand your form gone. But where's the sense of like game? Where's the game management gone?
Yeah.
It can't be all put down on the players and then it can't all be put on the manager at the same time. But yeah, the players should be taking it on themselves to see these fucking games out. Like, it drives me insane. Forget about... It all comes down to the front three missing chances because our side, we would have been. But at the end of the day, you have to play the game out the way it's going on in front of you. And this high line, I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. Fabinho literally has the poleaxe St. Maximum the halfway line after 60 minutes. How would he not make adjustments?
For me, it's a stubbornness in our game, and we've said this in the last couple of weeks. It's stubbornness. It's stubbornness. I don't understand. It's stubbornness to hold that line, Seany. Because I remember going back. And I always remember back to a pre-season, and it was like an open training session. And I remember, and it was a podcast I was listening to, and they were saying about pre-season training. They had access to this pre-season training, and the amount of times that Klopp and the coaching staff were stopping play and saying, "Why are you there? You need to be up, up, up." And this is a thing that they insist on. Now, I'm with you 100% on it. I'm with you 100%. But I always remember back to that the training, they were working on this, and the training was literally being stopped every 10 seconds. If the ball was nowhere near the back four, it was like, you shouldn't be there. You should be up, up, up all the time. And it's for me, it's something, I agree with you. I'm looking at that game going, drop 10 yards. There's less chance of you conceding the goal if you drop 10 yards. We can
keep the ball.
But we can deal with stuff.
Player off who's probably the best player in the world at keeping the fucking ball when he's on form. Never gave the ball away yesterday, and he takes him off for Curtis Jones, who comes on the pitch like a dog with two dicks, like a dog chasing traffic.
We'll get onto that, I guess.
Well. Just quickly, Battery had a super chat in there, and he said that we've taken 5 points from 27 against the lower sides in 9 games.
Like, if you're beating the teams you should be, which we should be, I don't give a fuck about injuries or that. We still should be beating these teams. You're in a title race.
No, it's the mentality. They don't have it mentally this season. And for whatever reason, they put too much into getting to the top of the mountain and then fell off a cliff and everything goes against them. Someone mentioned about the crowds, lack of crowds is killing them. Well, that's fair enough, but they're still footballers at the end of the day. And Seany made a good point about not adapting in the game. Because at half-time, I knew, and I'm sure you three knew, and I'm sure people listening knew, so I'm sure the players knew, you go win 1-0 up after missing all them chances, and it's a deja vu again. It's the same thing. It's repeat. So why were they not adapting and changing? You don't need Jurgen Klopp. Players should not need Jurgen Klopp to tell them to drop 5 yards, to mentally tune in, because Milner's on the pitch, isn't he, at the end of the game? Why is Milner not organising things, as a lead? I'm not putting it on James Milner, but just
the Leeds game the other night, I don't know whether anyone noticed it. We give away a corner around the 70-minute mark, and the ball comes in, and Alisson has to make a save from a corner, and the camera goes to Sky, and Milner, you can see Milner balling someone now, but going, don't fucking switch off.
Yeah.
And we can see it from that 10 minutes later. I don't get it. I could understand if this is a team that's just been newly assembled, but these are the group of players that have all played together. And everyone is in the chat saying Pep doesn't change the way he plays and Klopp doesn't change the way, because you obviously don't watch football then, because you haven't watched Man City this year.
Yeah, he's completely changed the way he's played football this season.
Man City have absolutely nailed COVID football.
Yeah.
No fans. They don't run as much anymore. They control games. They're way more controlled. Far better at the back than they were last year, trying to go gun-ho. And it's not down to Klopp. Like Keith said, that there's not many. They're all senior. There's not many young players in their squad. They're all around.
Is the only one.
Yeah, and he's the only one who kind of seems to have adjusted. I can't get my head around it. I just can't get my head around. This has been going on since October.
Yeah, but this goes back to the argument where we always have about qualities in players that you can't quantify with stats. Yeah, this goes back to the argument about leaders in your team and organizers and talkers. And, it's often understated the job Henderson does. And we're going to talk about it because it's very it's topical right now, because Sean is making points about leadership, in-game management. And how many times, do you remember, guys, how many times we sat here every Sunday talking about how we managed the game and fix whatever problem we had in the game? Internally, the players done it between themselves, whether it's Virgil, Hendo, I can't remember the journalist that spoke about how loud Matip is without the fans, he noticed. So, we think to ourselves, Matip ain't very vocal, whatever. He just comes across as just does his job. But I think it was Neil Jones, the journo. He said he talked about Matip being so vocal at the ground and you could hear him bellowing at players. Makes a massive difference. Yeah. We are the quietest team. Take out Milner and we're a bunch of fucking mice on that pitch in terms of you can't hear us. Honestly, Mo, Bobby, none of them talk. Can you hear them? Mouses. We're a fucking bunch of mouses on that pitch. And even Fabinho and Kabak at the back, we go on to the goal. And but even, Robertson's concentrating on getting the game back. So he can't sort of look, because his form's been so poor, he's trying to concentrate on his own game, and that's understandable. But there's other people there that haven't stood up.
Well, there's a couple of things.
Taking quick throws in the 88th minute. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. The ball, this ball is bursting on it. Put it over there and get 120 yards away.
Where's the gamesmanship gone? Where is it gone?
We never had it, Sean.
We did. We had it last year, Key. We had it in Spain.
And it was unusual. That's the thing. It wasn't like this team.
Robbo wasting time. Trent wasting time. Virgil ball and refs out. It's all gone out again. Taking quick throw-ins.
Yeah.
It's fucking... Well, I don't get it.
I had a super chat up there and someone's removed it on me. If any user hitting them super chats off the screen, I'm going to hold you.
No, not me, mate.
Ash's one, was it?
No, I have that here. But there was another lad there, and his name's going to my head. But he was saying that we'd won so many games last season by a 1-goal deficit or 1-goal margin. Sorry, but this season he's amazed at how nervous we look trying to close out a game, and I agree with him. I'm looking at it, and it is like the Liverpool of old. It is like, where you're going, when you had Van Dijk there, you had Gomez there, you knew your keeper was on form, you went, we'll do this. We've done it loads of times. But now there is a nervousness, now there is, and like that, like you said earlier, that feeds into Newcastle, who are going, these don't look right, and we've seen it throughout the game, we've had half chances to get through, if we keep going, and I think Keith or Seany said, 20 minutes to go, you stay in the game and you see how you get on. Whereas last season or the season before, 20 minutes to go, you can stay in the game if you want, but we'll control it and we'll see it out. So, yeah, I take that point. Dinesh says, if we don't qualify for Europe next season, not so bad. We should have a full-strength team back next season. New signings, playing 1 game a week, trying to win the league and cups. Our team is still good. It won't be 1 game a week. It'll be a Thursday night followed by a Sunday, and if it's a European competition, I think Klopp will have a go at it. I wouldn't.
You should as well. You look at
I wouldn't.
Gav, you look at them today winning trophies. Look at them today winning trophies. Look, I don't care what anyone says. They don't care about FA Cup, Carling Cup, or any of these things. You should try to absolutely win every single competition you're in. Now, I understand City have a stupid big squad. but winning breeds winning and staying in it. And that's what you need to have, that mentality. Someone was saying, oh, we'll call him. Nobody with a brain called Pep Guardiola a flop last year or a club or a fraud. Nobody with a brain. It comes around. And I'm getting that club here. I don't want him gone. I'm not saying he's a bad manager. He hasn't got the tools that he usually has to work, but he hasn't had them since October. So this is the thing that annoys me more than anything else, is that we've been in this situation more or less since October. Now, we worried about the defence and so on, so forth. I wouldn't have any issue with how the defenders have been playing. I'd expect a team with Kabak and Phillips to concede at least one a week. But that might be all right for us once your strikers are taking their chances. They're not getting bailed out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem. And then we're not, like what Gav said, on top of that, we're not managing games when we need to manage games. Now, for instance, we ran out of steam against Leeds. We had a very good first half, and we were tired in the second half. And that's fine. But you still have to have it in you to dig in somewhere. And I don't know where it's gone. Look at the players after yesterday. They are all on the floor after the game. This team, we need the bell. This team needs the bell.
This team absolutely needs the season to end. And that's where my argument around, and we'll come on to it later about questioning players and futures at the club and stuff. That's where I'm a little bit standoffish with that, because I think mental and physical fatigue is a huge thing this season for this side. And like, we can talk about injuries and stuff like that, but I think mentally and physically the fatigue on this side this season, I think, has played a major factor. Now, I'm not saying that, a player will absolutely return to form next season. It could be just the end of a cycle for some. But I genuinely, when I see them, like you're saying, they get tired, and against Leeds, I agree with you. I was looking at that and going, these are mentally and physically gone. And I think they probably only have an hour in them per game. That's just my feeling on it from watching them. I just think whatever has been stacked against them this season, and mostly I think just players having to play way too much football. I think you're starting to see the result of that. And with 5 games to go, it'll need a miracle to get into top 4. And I just think on the mental and the physical side, I think it's mad. Like Herschel Benting says excuses. Well, it's not Herschel. It's not. It's not, because I can read you out facts as to what's happened with Liverpool this season, and they're actually facts. Oh, do you want me to? Okay. So we've lost our 2 centre halves since October. Yeah. Okay, that's a fact. Okay. Yeah. We have had a goalkeeper out for a period of time who's also lost his father and couldn't go to a funeral. That's a fact. We have a manager that's lost his mother and couldn't go and grieve for that person. That's a fact. Okay. We've had Thiago that's come into the side, played really well, nearly gets folded in half for Everton. Gets injured, he's out for 3 months and comes back into a side that's struggling. Yeah. That's a fact. We've had Jota that's come in and started really well, gets injured, out for 3 months, again comes back into a side that's really struggling, and people are looking for him to take it on. That's a fact. Okay, well, so all them things are facts. All them things are facts.
You're telling me this team's not good enough to be a Newcastle side at home.
No, it's not. I'm not saying that.
No, but you're saying about facts, and he's right. It's excuses, because we're a goalpost move. We should be in the top 4. All right, we should be in the top 4. You can't beat Brighton at home or away. That's a fucking fact. You get beaten by Burnley at home. That's a fact. You get beaten by Newcastle at home, or you draw with Newcastle at home and away. You can't beat Fulham home or away. 2 of these sides are nearly almost already down. So you're telling me that we're dropping 22 points to teams in the bottom half of the table, and we're using injuries as an excuse? I'm sorry, Gav.
I never. Oh, you see, now you're putting words in my mouth.
I think both of you.
Hold on, whoa. Now you're putting words in my mouth now. You're putting words in my mouth. What I'm saying is, they are facts as to what happened, right?
I'm
not. Listen. I'm not using. Are you going to let me talk now? I'm not using them as excuses. I'm stating them as facts. And this is why I come back to the mental and physical fatigue on this side, right? Because when I look at it, right, I'm looking at Trent, I'm looking at Robbo, who have played way too much football, in my opinion, right? All right, to do anything for this season, way too much football. The same with Wijnaldum. The same with Firmino, the same with Mane. Salah's fine, he's been absolutely brilliant. But there's too many players in that side, for me, right, over the course of the season, with everything that's gone on, are playing way too much football, and because of those facts I've read out. That's all I'm saying. Okay,
That's not.
I'm not making excuses for them.
Yeah,
I'm not
who's
making.
Man City's top scorer this year?
Say again.
Who's Man City's top scorer this year?
Haven't got a clue. I don't read who's top scorers in any club.
But they haven't had a striker for the whole season.
Yeah, but you've just told me 5 minutes ago they've got a ridiculously large squad.
It doesn't matter. They still haven't had a striker. The top goal scorer is a midfielder, Gundogan. He wasn't even getting games last year.
Yeah.
Not making excuses.
Yeah.
Pep didn't make excuses.
Yeah, but hold on a minute. You're telling me I'm making excuses. I'm just telling you what's happened. And
Gav,
no, I'm not.
Gav, we should be in the fucking top 4. We should have been finishing in the top 4 with a depleted squad. We were top at Christmas.
Yeah,
Gavin.
I know.
Top at Christmas.
I know we were top of Christmas. I know we were. But all I'm saying to you is, there's only so much I think what's left in that squad can do. And there's no options there. There's no options. Like, I don't know if Jota is fit yesterday, right? But he plays him. All I'm saying is, Seany,
all of those things were watching, and I'm on podcast saying it, and I get it. It's an accumulation. We never going to challenge with the title under those circumstances, but you need to look.
No, never with the title.
Points that we've dropped, Gav. Look at the points we've dropped. Look at the situations we've been in with the teams we've had. So, how the excuse is that we haven't been good enough. It's nothing got to do with injuries or anything.
I never said we were. I never said we were good enough. What I'm saying is, when I'm looking at that team, you're saying with the team you have on the pitch, like you're going by. In my opinion, they're going by names now, because I'm looking at Mane and it's just falling through the floor, right? Why is he falling through the floor? Well, confidence, lack of form. You know, this long COVID argument, the whole lot. All I'm saying is, when that accumulation happens, right, you mightn't see it immediately. And don't get me wrong, we should have had enough in February, January, February, wherever it might be. But the longer it goes on, Seany, the longer it goes on, and you're asking them same players to go on the pitch time after time after time, when they're getting no break from it, then you're going to see them suffer. And that's, I think, why they're suffering. I think, I don't know, like, lack of form, you can absolutely throw out there. But I genuinely, looking at this side, see a side that after 65 minutes, mentally and physically, they're gone. That's just my opinion. I'm not making excuses for them, in no way, because I think could we have managed it better? Absolutely. But when I look at it, I just think, Seany, whatever's happened across this season, they will only get you so far. And they fell in a rut in January and they couldn't get out of it. And I don't think they have the legs to get out of it. That's what I'm saying to you. That's all I'm saying.
Keith, I think we've got a couple of super chats while they have open a can between them. Do you want to read out this two super chats?
Me and Seany don't drink.
What one are we on? Are we on this one from Georgia?
Yeah, go on, read that one out first.
Can't believe how we won the Premier League, or how we are Premier League champions. The most decorated British team in Europe have turned into this dross due to injuries. Look, that's just what the lads have been saying, really, isn't it? And it's injuries, it's fatigue, it's mentality, it's everything. They just haven't been good enough. There's no excuses, really. You know, we are throwing up excuses, but at the end of the day, we should be better than we are.
There's not.
But they've all hit the wall.
Understand if anyone else was outstanding, but I'd say below 70 points is going to get you fucking Champions League football this season.
Yeah,
there's a couple more.
This is my issue. I could understand if everyone around us was just better, but they've all been crap. Leicester are in bits with injuries.
I know.
Look at them. It's just it seems a little bit like they're feeling sorry for themselves, some of these players, and it's not even a knee jerk now. I think that we need a bit of a facelift and a change of tact going into next year, because it's just not going to cut it. They're not going to get a rest in the summer because they're all going off play Copa America in Europe. And so I don't know. I don't know.
I think you might need a rest, Seany. That's the thing.
I think that's what I think. Tahir says we need a player in January.
Yeah.
But our scheming owners didn't care and only gave Klopp spare change. Yes. That's all their fault. FSG outside. I think he means FSG out, but it's outside. He has written. Avi says Klopp needs the biggest of everyone this summer. Agree with Seany. Biggest reset. Did he say reset?
Rest. Sorry, he had adjusted it later. With the
Oh,
old
okay.
asterisk.
Okay, all right. But he says, agree with Seany, this team should have made the top 4 minimum. Yeah, and that's where we get on to in a few minutes, because you start to question players, and I'm even looking at certain players and kind of going, does he get back? Is this just something that's happened this season, and does he come back fresh? And I don't know on some of them. I really don't. But I agree with you on the top 4 stuff. But I am looking at this side, and they just look like they're running on empty for me. They're absolutely running on empty for me, and that's my argument. I'm not making an excuse for them.
Running on empty,
Yeah, Seany, I genuinely believe so.
We were getting battered every week, but it's the little things where we're being let down.
But it's the little things, Seany. It's the little things that affect you when you're mentally and physically fatigued, and you switch off at that second, or you don't do something right, or you don't drop into a position, or you don't track a runner. It's those little things, Seany. And it's a game of fine margins. You see it every week.
Forwards not putting away chances puts pressure onto the defence.
But that's what I wanted to get to. That's what I wanted to get to, because the substitutions, the Thiago one in particular, and Keith, I'll come to you. People fuming over this Thiago substitution, and Seany said, and Seany said it earlier, you're looking to control the game, and look, it's even making our point for us here. If you're mentally and physically fatigued, you might control it. Then don't let it be a big open run around game. Control it. What did you make of that? Is there, and that has to be on Klopp. He makes the substitution, but again, is there something we're not seeing here?
It's hard, because. Me personally, right, watching the game, couldn't believe Gini Wijnaldum didn't get hooked. If I had taken off a midfielder, right, because I didn't think Gini had a great game. I didn't think he was doing enough with or without the ball. Personally, my own thing, I didn't think he was great. I thought Thiago was fine. Didn't think it was his best game, but I thought he was keeping the ball. He was trying to punch little holes in them. He pings a ball into Mo. I think Mo just touches it off to Jota for a shot in the first half. He's doing well, and to take him out when he does, it's 77. It's a strange substitution in my opinion. If you want to bring on Curtis Jones, by all means, bring him on. But that change at that time, it just didn't seem to make any sense. You bring in Milner, comes in earlier than that, doesn't he, for Jota? He comes in about 60, is it? 60
That
minutes.
made sense. Yeah. 66.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. But you then have a midfield with Gini, Thiago, and Milner. So, do you know what I mean? Only one of them is really a progressive midfield player. And he's the one who comes off. So, in my taking on this, Klopp has to take a lot of blame for this season. A lot of blame for his in-game management. His substitutions have been atrocious, right? His substitutions in general are absolute woeful. And people can criticise in the chat and all for that. Look, tell me how many times he's won games and changed games in the last fucking year and a half by making subs. I think it's terrible. I think it's a blind spot that he has. And yesterday was no different. Curtis Jones coming back from injury. We all know when Curtis Jones is at his best, he's a good player. Didn't look at yesterday. Do you know what I mean? And we were crying out as the game goes on, keep the ball, put them under pressure. Don't let them have the ball. Don't let them get back into the game. And it's like we ceded possession to them and let them just and take a go at us for the last 15 minutes. I just couldn't believe it. I thought it was very strange from Klopp to do it. I thought his choice of taking off Thiago instead of Gini was strange, but it's consistent with Klopp, in my opinion.
Grizz, the substitutions, like Keith said, control the game, and you keep him on, because I agree. I thought Wijnaldum was poor yesterday. I'm going to be honest. The Jota one did make sense because there was rumour. Was he fit? Was he not? And he still is coming back. The kind of way he's 4 or 5 games coming back into the side, so that made sense, and it stabilised a little bit. And we stand off, and maybe that is a bit of game management where you say Jota off, Milner on, make it a 3, and readjust and stuff like that. But it all leads, Grizz, to Newcastle getting their eye in there and going, hold on, they're taking him off, and we can get at Wijnaldum now, and we get a massive let off, and then the equalise. And Grizz, I'm being honest with you, I could see it coming. I really could. Even when they got the one that disallowed, I could still fucking see it coming.
Yeah, well, look, with regards to the substitution, the Milner one made sense, and we thought that's a good one because he did. Milner made a difference to the tide. The way there was less chaos in the game, and maybe that was the time to sort of introduce Milner. I get that, but with the Thiago one, I didn't get it, and I didn't get the player that was coming on and the position that he took up.
Yeah, because
if you're going to bring on Curtis Jones, and because I think all of us could see Mane flag proper lagging, like he was proper struggling, and Curtis Jones could have done a job out on the left.
Yeah.
You know, keep the ball in the corner flag. What he's good at, close control, play with Robertson, keep the ball. But to put him in the engine room and in the role of Thiago, so to speak, I thought was scandalous. I'm not even going to beat around the bush and say I couldn't for the life of me understand it. And he's made some absolute howlers this season. You know. Someone explained to me in the chat. I've asked you guys in the private WhatsApp, but someone in the chat tell me that he thought Naby Keita was ready, fit, mentally and physically for Real Madrid away, right, in the quarterfinal of the Champions League. And then since then, correct me if I'm wrong, anyone in the chat, I don't think he's seen a minute of game time. How does that make any sense whatsoever? How does that make sense whatsoever? If you're taking off Thiago, a ball-playing, a controlling central midfielder, surely the person to bring him in, if there's a problem with Thiago, maybe because there is, right? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe Thiago has a slight issue, and that's why the medical team have told him to bring him off at 70 minutes. Surely the person to bring him stylistically, game management-wise, is Naby Keita, who was initially bought to play that role anyway, but obviously through injury and loss of form hasn't had a look in. But if you're thinking he's fine 2 weeks ago, and to put him into the most important game of the season, you bring a raw youngster who we've all praised lavishly, but we've all accused of being young and spontaneous in his game management. He tries things in the wrong position sometimes because he's young and, you know, he's cocky, he's arrogant. We like that about him. But you don't bring him on in 10 minutes in a crucial game like that for the most best sort of holder of the ball in world football still, Thiago, who never gave the ball away. And look, if I was a Newcastle player, if I was a Newcastle midfielder and I saw Thiago coming off and a kid coming on, my eyes would have lit up too. And I would have said, right, fuck this, bypass them and just launch balls into there. Even at the end, guys, even at the end, how many times have we seen Jurgen Klopp resort to bringing on a centre-back when he sees the teams just launching balls non-stop, because that's all they were doing, right? The last 5 minutes was just high ball after high ball after ball. We've got a 6'3" centre-back who's not quick, who's not going to be asked to play a high line, who's not going to be asked to play chasing wingers, whatever. He's going to be asked to go into the back 4-3 or back 5, whatever, and just head every ball in. Reece Williams, 6'3" or 6'4", I think, actually. I think he's taller than Virgil. No thinking. He didn't even use the third sub in the end. That's how confused and scrambled our mind was in that last 10 minutes. But again, it was because of the shitheads up front. You know, we can't let them get. Yeah, it seems as though I'm switching to the wholly on Jurgen Klopp. It is the shitheads up front because they are shitheads now.
Before we move off Thiago, can I just give you a few stats yesterday? Right, I'm not a stats man. I'm just looking at this.
Oh, you clearly are.
You
must have looked it up.
Right. Yeah, I've got it in front of me. Right. So we played 77 minutes. He had 113 touches, right? And he had 91 accurate passes out of them 113 touches. 90% pass success rate. So he's 91 passes out of 113, but he's not holding it too long, Gav. He's not taking touches. He's getting a touch.
It's
and
1 and 2 touches.
Yeah. And that's all it is. And 90% accurate. And we took that off. Do you know what I mean? We took that off in a game where he was keeping the ball, he was using the ball, he was doing it quickly, and people say he slows us down. It was unbelievable. And if Keita was no good as well, before we finish on that, if Keita gets the curly finger on 42 minutes against Real Madrid and is seen as not being any use, then what the fuck's he doing on the bench? If he's not going to play him and he's not put a youngster on the bench if he doesn't trust Keita.
Seany, we all agree that the Thiago's substitution is a bit mind blowing to us all watching the game, and you know, the consequences, not completely the consequences of it, but you see what happens when he goes off. We don't have control. We're not moving it fast. We're not holding it. It's any sort of rhythm from he goes. But Grizz touched on something there, Seany, and I'm going to let you have this. I don't know if this is a wise move, but I'm going to let you have this. If the forwards show up tomorrow, Seany, we're not having this conversation about a fucking Thiago substitution in 77. We're not having a conversation about if an VAR shout at the end. Newcastle might grab a consolation through Willock. Seany, how worrying is this for you?
It's hard to say, because it could be just as simple as they need time out and the reset button. But there's certain players. Genie's gone, all right? Yeah. So we think. It looks like Genie's more or less gone.
Yeah.
Sadio Mane is reminding me of Alexis Sanchez now. Just woke up, Copa America, 60 games a season, and bang. Like
high intensity player, and all of a sudden gone.
Just playing off instinct. And those players are great when it's coming off you, but they're the complete opposite when it's not. So there's no middle ground, really. You know what I mean? There's no... You can see, like, there's good players who can be good without doing much, and you wouldn't really notice that there. But the thing is with Mane, when he's bad, he's bad. But when he's good, he's really good. There's no middle ground. With Salah, when he's bad, but he still produces. Do you know what I mean? Like, the ball's squared to Mane in the box yesterday, and I don't know what he's doing.
Just kicking in the net, buddy.
It's like his laces are tied together, and he's allergic to a football. I don't know, like he's had to get stung by a load of nettles or something. I don't know what's going on.
But why isn't he seeing this? Why is no one seeing this, Seany?
Yeah, Chris, and I get that, and I'm thinking to myself, like, should be Klopp be taking him out? But there's nobody even there. And then again, this makes the decision to let Minamino go even fucking worse. So you haven't got anyone there. I don't even think Origi was on the bench yesterday.
No.
It's just, I don't know, Gav. As not just only a Liverpool fan, as a football fan, I've never felt more disconnected from the sport in my life. With what's gone on in the last, let's say, 18 months, and then compounded by the last couple of weeks. You've null and void people coming out crying wanting the league cancelled because health and safety, when it's all self-interest. And then we get over the anxiety of not knowing whether the league is not going to go ahead, and then football kicks off again with no fans, and then we sort of realise this is shite, isn't it? This is crap.
We're at the beginning, Seany, we were that desperate for football because it had been gone for a while. We're like, it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be, and we just soon realised it's
you're thinking yourself, what's the story here? Then Goodison Park happens, and you couldn't feel more detached from the game. Players getting butchered, decisions going against you, and then the steady decline of our squad falling apart, and then just football being shite. Just watching football and going, this is crap. There's no emotion in it. I'm a massive UFC fan, and watching last night, seeing the full arena, was like, Jesus Christ, this is unbelievable. This is sport. This is what sport. This is the spectacle of sport. And you're thinking, we might get it back. And then I watched the Carling Cup final today with 30,000 in, and it was shite. It was crap. And then we had the Super League. Just shite. I've never felt more detached from the sport. And I was saying this ages ago. I don't know when they're going to come back. I don't know when. I don't know.
Until it's back proper, Seany. Until it's back proper. Because you're right, that today was muck.
Will Anfield be full on the first game of the season in August? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. And I feel sorry for the players as well, because you can see we're the team that have missed the fans the most.
Yeah.
And Klopp hates football in its current format. He fucking hates. He can't stand it. He cannot stand it.
Well, Scott Willock said, time to get on to next season. Virgil and Joe back. Kanate in. get Camavinga and Daka, and we will go again. And Keith, I'm going to come to you because I just wanted to touch on this. What do you feel on this? Because like I'm genuinely on the fence, right? I usually give a straight opinion, but I'm genuinely on the fence with regards to, like Johnny said, or one of you said there, you know, when Alden will go, you know, there's one or two others that you think will go, but then there's other ones that are starters in this side, and I'm genuinely on the fence going, is it just a period of time where they're not playing well? Is it fatigue? Is it a lack of form, confidence, whatever it might be? And don't worry about it. A break. And like lads have said, the Euros and the Copa America and whatever else. But I'm talking about a break from Liverpool. I'm talking about a break from this squad. You know, just getting away, and whether it's with your national team or you're off for the summer, wherever it might be, and just come back and you'll see these players, the real players again. Or Keith, is it a case where you just look and go, any little doubt that was there, it's maybe being confirmed from me over the last couple of months, or somebody's just fallen off a cliff and there's no way back? Where are you on this? Because I think it's very interesting, and I think it's going to be very interesting going into the summer with regards to what the plans for the club might be, transfer-wise.
It's hard because if, you know, I'd love to think that Mane and Bobby need a break and can come back the players they were. But if they don't, and they come back the players they are now, which could be the new normal for them, which could be, as Seany said, the Alexis Sanchez syndrome, where the high quality players, and then they're not high quality anymore, and then you're stuck with them. Do we have to be ruthless and sell them in the summer? We won't, but I'm talking fantasy stuff. Klopp's not going to get rid of them. I think this squad needs an overhaul, because I think they need something that's going to make them go back to the well to start putting the effort in again. And it's not a return to by Virgil. Virgil's not going to come back and suddenly we're going to be great, because Virgil, we were brutal before that. Yeah, before Virgil got injured, we were pretty crap. But that's coming down to the no fans thing. When football came back, we've just been a shadow of ourselves, right? So Virgil was there for some of that, and he wasn't. You know, Bobby and Mane are big worries for me. And personally, I'd look to move them on. And I'm a huge fan of the two of them, but I'd move them on. Genie, I wouldn't give a new contract to either, because I think you have to, at some stage, you have to start refreshing your squad. And the problem, before I let you move on it, another criticism of Klopp, and I love Klopp, I'm criticising him all over the place, and he can be too loyal to some players. And I think if you keep someone like Genie with a new contract, you're blocking the path of someone else. So if Klopp's, we're going to bring in Naby Keita or Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, right? They're injury issues, fair enough. Minamino, Origi, Shaqiri. We're not going to let them get game time. They're going to be no use to us. Do you know what I mean? We have to start. Klopp has to trust the squad a bit more. And if that means overhauling the squad and giving him the players he wants, that's what needs to happen. And before we do finish, is anyone worried about Alisson? Or is it just me?
No, I'm not really worried about Alisson, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Grizz.
I'm sat here smiling like a Cheshire cat that, you guys hate it when I'm proved right. But
well, I wanted to ask you a question before you just made that outlandish statement, if that's all right.
I'm going to make more yet.
Okay, great. I look forward to it. What I was going to say was to you, the lads have mentioned that, like, Seany's disconnect with football. It's crap. It's stadiums, no one in them. All sorts of stuff going on, and it's just being played out for the sake of being played out, or wherever it might be. Is that part of it, Grizz? Are we overreacting to what we've seen this season from Liverpool, or is it just a case of, look, it's being magnified because of all this situation around it? And when we're looking at these players, they are falling off cliffs and there's no way back, or there was a little doubt about them and it's just being compounded. Where are you on this? Because I don't see, I personally don't see an overhaul in one summer from FSG. No. I just don't see it.
No. So look, the first part of the question, to get serious, it is very personal how you interpret this current state of football. It's subjective, right? Seany feels absolutely, no enjoyment about it. He feels that way personally. I'm not that emotionally invested. So everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with it. Everyone's totally different, and there's no right and wrong way to sort of perceive how the season is or the state of football. Each individual takes his enjoyment out of the game, out of the sport, out of the team.
Yeah, it's more on me, to be fair. It is more.
Yeah.
It's more on me because.
But there's millions like you, though. But there's millions of Liverpool fans around the world, or football fans, I should say. Sorry.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, like, me and Seany have had a bit of a row here tonight. But I know if we actually sat down and went and took the emotion out of it, we probably come to large agreement on it. If you get me,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
It's come down to, I'm telling you now, I'm not a very emotionally intelligent person. That's why I can't be dealing with Twitter and anything like that. I don't mind anyone having their own opinion or anything like that, but it's stuff like this. I'm thinking to myself, why do I fucking care this much? Liverpool ruined my weekend this weekend at 12:30 on a Saturday night.
But this exactly
care this much?
Absolutely. But this again goes back to
I love spectacle. I can't wait for the Olympics. I love Augusta. I love Wimbledon. I love sport. But it's different with Liverpool. I'm emotionally invested into this, and we all seen this coming off. But this is where my disconnect comes, Grizz. Why are we so fucking emotionally connected to something where the owners have proven now that they actually don't give an absolute bollocks? So how can I feel like it's just football is shy until I can go back and be in Anfield with me mates, like we're playing United next Sunday, and I don't give a bollocks because I won't be sitting in the pub with me mates, slagging them, having a go. It won't be back and forth. Even they don't. They're second, and no matter what happens next week, we're just going to be like, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? I can't say anything. I can't see you. If you're messaging me on WhatsApp, I can just ignore you. I'm not sitting in a pub having to listen to you, winding me up or anything like that. What would football has been taken away from us completely? Especially with fucking VAR and all. It's just...
See, the thing is, right, the viewers and listeners don't know you as well as we do. And we know you're passionate like this, right? And we know what you mean. You wear your heart on your sleeve. But we also know, lads, that come Sunday, this fucker will be the leader of the pack in terms of, right, let's fucking get at them. If we can beat United away, and if we get that first goal, Seany will be...
Yeah, but in fairness... do you know what? Can I answer that? Because in fairness, and look... We've said it loads of times. Their WhatsApp group is an asylum, right? It genuinely is, right? We should charge people in to watch what goes on because it's outrageous. But I think what happens there with Seany is, like, Seany was all over the shop with the European Super League stuff, and we are slagging him over it. But I think what Seany's trying to do there, I think Seany's trying to motivate himself to get engrossed in it, and then it just doesn't work for him and he backs completely off.
Don't want to talk about the Super League, but football is dying. It is dying.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, look at today, Carabao Cup means nothing. FA Cup next year means nothing. What's going to stop the rest of the competitions from getting like that? This game is dying, and people will disagree. Florentino Perez is right. He's right. The game is dying, and we do need change. They went about it the wrong way, and that's... But UEFA allowed to have monopoly. This game is definitely dying. It's dying out. The same way boxing died for 30 years when too many hands got involved. Something needs to change. Kids don't watch football anymore. They watch highlights. They don't follow teams anymore.
They play Warzone. Kids play Warzone.
They follow players.
Biggest kids I've ever seen.
They do follow players, Sean.
It's trickling through with Twitter. You see football Twitter. You see the terminologies. Klopp out, dead field, dead baller, fraud, all of this. This is in a world where kids can 17, 18-year-olds can go onto FIFA and build an ultimate team of players from every team from different generations, every year's everything. They can put that together. So the reality of football is skewed. They don't have any emotional attachment to any one club because they only feel one way about a certain player. Like my nephew doesn't follow Liverpool; he follows Kylian Mbappe. Like,
yeah, my uncle is the same.
So
loves him.
That's what Perez means. That the game is dying out. Like, the game is dying out big time.
Well, there's two little subjects I want to touch on before we finish off. A lot of people in the chat are asking about the FSG bid that was turned down, apparently. I think the Mirror were the first to report that, saying that the bid came in before anyone knew about the European Super League. And the other thing is that Kanate looks close and Kabak looks like Liverpool are going to take up the option on Kabak. Grizz, I'll come to you. Both of those, you can cover both of them, the FSG stuff, and it looks like those two centre-backs for a combined £50 million. Does that fix centre-half for you? And what else are you looking for? After all that discussion we've had about players and falling off cliffs and stuff. And of course, the FSG bid, what do you make of that?
Yeah, no, I was go back about 10 minutes. And I was smiling like a Cheshire cat when Keith was talking about overhauls.
He's just not letting this go, is he?
No, wait, listen, I'm not going to let it go because, guys, no, look, and you know as well, because we speak about this fucking day and night, Gavin. We've been speaking about it for the last 6 months to a year, and I've said the reason we're in a state right now in terms of squad depth and quality is because we haven't done enough in past windows. We haven't done it. And I've said we've seen the best of. I said that we've seen the best of Bobby at the start of the season, and got lambasted. Mane, we've seen the best of 100%. We've seen the Mane. 100% agree with Seany. He gives me Torres and Alexis Sanchez vibes all over, and I also agree, and I've said it before, that Klopp is too loyal to players, and this is why I need to see. Every single Liverpool fan will want to see now is if Klopp can revitalize this team and turn it into the machine that it took him, 3 years to turn into? He's got another 2-3 years left, lads? Let's see if he can turn it into the evolution, the second team, the second Champions League winning team, the Champions League winning team. And this is what everybody wants to see. And in order for him to do that, he will need huge investment. And it will 100%, look, fans get embroiled in this loyalty and in this attachment, as Seany says, to players. You talk about Mane and it's like as if you've forgotten about everything he's done in the past. No, like sensible, logical, rational people haven't. They're just telling you how it is, the truth, facts. People that say, "Oh, you've forgotten what Bobby done for us." Of course not. We witnessed it all. Bobby, Mane, Salah. These were heroes. These are legends of the club. Gini's an absolute legend, but I tell you what, he was finished. He was finished in that second half against Newcastle, and he's not signing a new contract, and he doesn't want to leave, but he's going. So why is Klopp picking him every single game, every single minute? He has this weakness. Every coach in world football has a weakness, and you could say Klopp's biggest weakness is his loyalty to players. And some may say that's a strength also, but it's also a weakness. I think 100%. I told you guys, in my opinion, this squad needed an overhaul. And lo and behold, 6-8 months, I think we all agree now that it does need an overhaul. And when we say overhaul, we're not little kids playing FIFA here. We know what we mean. We mean 4 players. And that's but in FSG terms, that's an overhaul. Because FSG don't make 8 out, 4 in. And this is the problem, and this is the panic we're setting in now because we can't see it. We talk about it between ourselves, lads. Let's be open about this. We talk about it and we say, you know what, this what needs to be done, and this what needs to be done. But then we say, and then at the end of the statement in our text, where we say, but fuck it. We know that's not reality. Yeah. Why isn't it reality? This is the stage we're at. It needs to become reality now. We need to be in a position where we can say, right, FSG, you've fucked up badly this season with the Super League and everything. And the only way you slightly get back into the good books of the fans worldwide, locally, media-wise, everything is you fucking go huge this summer. Because that's what it needs. It won't be just a case of Virgil coming back, Hendo coming back, and all systems go. It just won't be like that. It's not a click of... You need fresh blood. You need to rebuild the mentality. Klopp took 2-3 years building this mentality, preaching through the media, preaching through the fans about mentality, stay with us, mentality, doubters into believers. He's got doubters into believers part 2 now.
Okay, so I think you answered my questions, but I'm going to ask you two very quick yes or no questions, right? Either can I. I'm going to ask you yes or no questions.
Overhaul your bollocks with Manscaped.
Oh man, that's a good one. And somebody did put in a super chat with a joke. I hope he's all got that on screen. But Grizz, two yes or no answers from me, please. Do you like Kabak and Kanate at £50 million?
Yeah, you can't go wrong at that price for two young, unproven. I would say it again.
Yes
unproven.
Or no questions.
You should have known better, Gav. In fairness.
Yes, I'm happy.
Okay, and do you believe that FSG turned down a bid of £3 billion for Liverpool Football Club?
No, they absolutely didn't. There's a lot of spin going on in the media. They didn't.
Okay, cool. Seany, Kanate, Kabak, we obviously need more and stuff like that. And we spoke a couple of weeks ago, Seany, about, do you remember when we were talking about the January stuff and we were saying this is a big summer for FSG, just before all the Super League stuff. We were saying that it is a big summer because we have to take Klopp's contract into consideration here. He's not going to wait another year to fully build this team again and only have 2 years and possibly a year if he has to do more the year after. Does this make it an even bigger summer again, Seany, because of what's happened in January, what's happened over the last week or so, and now when you're looking at the form these players are in and the decisions that have to be made, it looks like overhaul is probably a big word to use, but it's starting to look like a...
Why are you scared of that word?
No, I'll tell you why, because overhaul means that you're starting from scratch again. What I'm saying is, does it make it...
Revamp
is probably a better word, right? But does it make it an absolutely humongous summer now with all those factors?
Yeah, but there's so many mitigating circumstances, Gav, like with what could and couldn't happen. But people think revamp just means personnel. Like personnel is the only thing you can change. There's so much that can be changed that can help us going forward. I think a change of tactic for starters. I think whenever the fixtures come out and Liverpool kick off first game of the season, we want their opposition to be turning around saying, "What's going on here? This is different." Yeah. We need to change. We need to switch it up. We need to switch it up because I think we've drained this system of everything we can do with it. All right. So let's say we go into next season and we don't do the business that we need to do off the pitch in terms of transfers. What can we do to make us better on the pitch? And that'll come down to Klopp. So we need to change our approach maybe slightly going into this next season because what we're doing now is not working at the moment. And people associate revamp, overhaul with throwing money around. We don't need to do that. We just need to get the right players. I want to see a killer in our team next year. I want to see a cutthroat striker leading the line.
Who would you choose?
Haaland. Doesn't have to be an Mbappe. Like imagine
Lautaro.
Someone, imagine Greenwood in our team. Imagine someone like a Mason Greenwood in our team. And he hasn't scored a lot of goals this year because he hasn't got many chances. That boy does not miss. We need someone like him in our team. Someone like him, a Van Persie. One chance, one goal, bang. That's what we need. Someone like that. And we'll find one. Because I don't doubt our scouting team. I'm mad on Daka. Daka reminds me of Samuel Eto'o. Samuel Eto'o is one of the most lethal finishers in the history of the game.
Yeah.
Someone like him. Doesn't have to be a Haaland.
Daniel Malin is coming out as well at the moment. Isn't there a lot of talk linking it to him?
We just need a killer. We need a killer.
We need a young Burak Yilmaz. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Or a current Yilmaz.
Look what Captain Sal there. I pulled that one up there. Possible. I like him.
Yeah, I like Ollie Watkins.
Because I think he's a type of player who, if he gets one chance in a game, you fancy him to take it. You know, and that's what we need. We need someone like that. But forget about Haaland and Kane. We're not playing FIFA, lads. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. Mbappe, Haaland, Kane. Not what we do. We don't buy superstars. We create them. And I trust us to do that.
But if you look at the plan, Seany, how can you see it? I won't ask Grizz, I'll get your opinion, or Gav's, right? Is it going to be Dybala, Martinez, Lautaro Martinez, or is even that too high? Is that the right sort of profile?
I maybe even think that's too high. I think they will have somebody earmarked from League One or maybe Eredivisie or someone like Adake. I think they'll know. I think they'll know exactly what they need. Because look, they got it right last summer. Jota, Thiago, a midfielder. They got it right. They did get it right.
Depay's name has popped up as well. Atkinson says
Depay gets goals. He gets goals.
Can take a free kick as well.
Like, we just need a change of tact. Like, we'd be naive to think that it'll work again next year, just going in and the way it went, it goes. Like, we were all screaming out for Werner, and we didn't go for him in the end, and we were all going mad, and it became apparent why, because if Werner would have done nothing on our side, done nothing, because he's not a good footballer. It's just the fact.
It's quick.
Well, Tahir says FSG has continuously done this.
I would have loved Neto when he's at the getting injured. Rafinha off Leeds is an excellent player who I love. If we can buy someone in that'll put Mo closer to the net, I think his goals will go up.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, because yesterday was an epitome of the season, Seany. Mo Salah gets a goal and misses an absolute sitter then.
Yeah.
But no one else is taking up the slack. It's Mo or it's nothing.
It's mental that 17-18 is Salah's fourth season, and I remember I think he had 20 league goals by Christmas or something stupid like that. And I remember thinking, imagine this fella took half of his chances.
Yeah.
Like, he'd be 50 goals a season. Was so wasteful.
Yeah.
Was so
unreal.
We just need someone to put a nail in the coffin or go completely different, change it completely. Go someone who doesn't just come inside. Mane comes inside. Salah comes inside. Everyone was screaming for Mbappe, Haaland. I'd love a Sancho. I'd love a player.
I can't believe Sancho's not being absolutely linked with us in every single paper every day.
Rafinha.
Who said he's not linked with us?
You're not listening. I said I'm surprised he's not linked in every single newspaper to us every day. No, but you're there, the Cheshire Cat pipes up there. You know what I mean?
I want us to be predictable next season. I want to go predictable.
Well, Tahir says FSG has continuously done this: low ticket prices, branding Liverpool's logos, no support for Klopp, and now this. I don't care who they buy or what they do. Tahir wants them. It feels that the damage is being done, and he wants FSG out, and they should leave. Keith, I'm going to come to you last before we leave, and we've spoken about January. We've spoken about the Super League. We've spoken about players' form. Is it the end of a cycle? How big this summer gets? The last thing I'm going to throw on top of this summer is, if we're in the Europa League, what does that do? Because I think it snookers FSG in a big way. I think if they're in the Europa League, it could have been their way out of not spending massive money because of the loss of revenue. But what happened in the last week has taken that from under their feet, in my opinion. What do you feel on that?
Yeah, I think the Europa League or Champions League, I think they're going to have to... They have an asset, right? No matter what they want to do with this asset, to not back the manager now and give them some tools to replenish the squad is just negligent. So if there's no Champions League money, well, that's tough shit. They just have to give them money. It'll probably impact the type of player we're getting, but I think we can all agree we're not going to be looking realistically now at the top table. So what can we get in? We all turn our nose up at the Europa League, but Klopp won't and the players won't, because they'll just still want to play. Fans fucking hate it. Do you know what I mean? It's great if you get to the final or whatever, and we've had memorable games getting there, but fans hate the Thursday, Sunday. I think they have to. What's happened over the last week, I think it's going to not force their hand a bit, but I think they were always probably going to be a bit more aggressive this summer than anyway. I've said that all along. I think if the Kanate rumour is true, then I think it shows they're going to try and get business done. I think they'll go and sign 3 first-team impacting players on top of Kanate. It'd be my tip for
100%.
what happens.
I
And
know
that's
you have
not a Simicast type. That's 3 fucking into
Starters,
challenge
looking for
starters
the
or
absolute starters.
there and there.
Totally agree.
Yeah. Okay. I've enjoyed that. Manscaped are the sponsor. We usually give them a big shout at the start,
Yeah.
but we left it to the end this week. There is Manscaped up there. Have you got bush? Is the question from Manscaped in April.
The new tagline now is overhaul your bollocks.
Yeah. So if anyone from Manscaped is listening, if you want to use overhaul your bollocks, you're more than welcome to, but we need a percentage on Red
Brilliant,
Steve.
man.
Absolutely.
Brilliant,
needs a
man.
percentage.
That is actually a brilliant line. Can I give a personal shout out to Darren Dunbar in the chat? I've just seen him.
Is this where you have a go at somebody?
No, he's my best friend.
Oh, was this because is this because you claimed that you got a delivery and you didn't?
Absolutely. Darren Dunbar. Let's read that because come on, this is what this show is about. It's all about the viewers and listeners.
Uh-huh.
And we read that is our atmosphere was created by the Europa League and the Klopp massive turning point. It could
Great
be
shout.
part 2. Brilliant shout, Darren. And also, thank you very much for helping me out with the Herms and etc. etc. You're a top man. Thank you very much.
Grizz had a little breakdown on Twitter. You should go and watch it. It was great.
Statements tagging.
What
Yeah.
do you think of the Suarez
Hey,
quotes?
it's about principles and more. I'm massive on principle. You know, is the principle of it.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway, as I said, Manscaped, go there, manscaped.com, 20% off and free shipping. And if you have bush, get rid of it. Keith, that's Keith's tagline. He walks around the house saying it. If you have bush,
just as well
get
as no
rid of
bush.
it. But no, they're a good sponsor of ours. They're supporting us for a little while now, and make sure you go and support. By supporting them, you support us, basically. Seany, anything else before we go?
No.
Are you happy?
Are you happy?
Yeah.
Don't be worrying about me. I'm grand.
Seany's grand.
I'm
Seany's
enjoying
grand.
it. Yeah, I tell you what, if you're a football fan, have a look at the French league table and have a look at the Spanish table. And just keep an eye on it. If you're a football fan, keep an eye on it because history could be made. But nobody's talking about it because there's no fans. But football outside of England is great. And
Even in Italy as well. Juventus
football-
losing that stranglehold.
Yeah, they could fall out of the Champions League spots, couldn't they?
It's a season of anomalies, and everyone in this chat, absolutely everyone, should be rooting for Sevilla to win La Liga because after what came out last week, they have a real chance.
That would be the ultimate story. If Lille and in the French league and Seville can play, that would be the ultimate story.
Yeah.
And fucking don't buy into any shite that Sky are gonna push it over.
Listen, we promise not to get into the European Super League stuff, but the Sky stuff has been outrageous this week. Philip Cassidy says,
like me. Just subscribe like me.
Philip Cassidy says, golf back tomorrow, so all good. Philip, I'm giving a shout out to Philip because golf is back tomorrow. Anybody in Ireland and is watching this show and plays golf will know that golf returns in Ireland tomorrow. You've been robbed of your game for 4 months for no good reason, and tomorrow we will all be back playing, and I'm delighted. I literally, lads, I'm so fucking excited. Right, I've cleaned an already clean pair of golf shoes. I have 2 sets of clothes ready. For what fucking reason, I don't know. The clubs are cleaned, the trolley's clean, everything's ready to go. So listen, the golf is back, and I know, especially Grizz, Seany, and Keith are delighted for me, on a personal level, for that one. But I do deserve it. I really do.
A golf podcast in the summer? Possibly?
No, absolutely not. That'd be just
for all of us.
That'd be just me and Andy telling everyone how shit we are at golf. But look, we're back tomorrow. So listen, don't be worrying about things. Go out and enjoy your golf tomorrow if you're playing. Philip looks like he is. Seany is happy. He will be more happy in 2 weeks because he's fucking off to Spain. Fair play to him. Keith,
we will all be happy by the end of the summer. I keep telling you the same
will
line.
you fuck off annoyed us with that. Keith, anything else before we go?
No. Someone put in the chat about Sporting in Portugal as well. Unbeaten this season in the league. I've just had a look. 29 games played, 22 wins, 7 draws, 15 goals conceded. And they haven't won the league in years over there as well. So, yeah.
Rate of Klingons like Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah.
Goncalves, the new Bruno
Goncalves,
Fernandes,
yeah.
Goncalves. Woo! Keep an eye on him.
Salute Reds just subscribed, so that's a nice way to end the show. If you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so, because when we get to 10k, if you ever fucking get us there, we're giving away that PlayStation 5 with FIFA 23 if the fucking
PS6
keeps going. PS6 and FIFA 23 if it keeps up like this. But no, listen, we're getting closer, so if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, please do so. Make sure you hit the like button if you haven't on your way out as well. It helps us a lot. And of course, check out manscaped.com for all your overhauling your bollocks needs. Grizz, anything else before we go? I better ask you, because you'll only give out to me afterwards if I don't.
No, pal, all good. We're all good. I know it's been turbulent. I know it's been emotional, but we're all good.
Yeah, but what I would say is, when you come on to watch this on a Sunday night, and all our shows throughout the week, in fairness, you get honesty, you get passion, you get arguments, but it's all because we love.
There's no acting. Yeah, we're being ourselves. Exactly.
Yeah,
listen.
That'll never go away. Whether the team are being good, bad, or indifferent, you will get honesty. You will get very, very direct views. We won't skate around anything. And when all this is finished, we'll just go back into our WhatsApp group and carry on like clowns for another week until we come back to you on Sunday. That's it. That has been the Fatback 4. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you get us to 10k, so go and subscribe. Me and Seany are off to have a big hug. We do hugs loads of times now every Sunday, me and Seany. But virtual hugs, because but we love each other really. Over now.